The round of 7 takes the FORL Cup Series to Sin City for the 19th race of Season 3. Las Vegas Motor Speedway plays host to one of the final races of the campaign, and with only 7 drivers in championship contention each and every race means that much more in the midst of a title fight. 7 minutes remain on the qualifying charts as it stands. Jacob Wilkerson has the pole position. 61 thousandths of a second behind will be Michael Cormetis, as 10 drivers have taken the time so far. Looking right now at Andrew currently qualified in the 8th position. With qualifying time still being set, great to have you all live on FTN as we take it back for the final 3 races of the FORL Cup Series. The third to last race going to start in just a few minutes. 120 laps, 180 miles, and I'll be commentating and producing throughout all of tonight's action. I'm David Kreutz, and I'm going to be here with you live on FTN all throughout the night. Drivers are still taking laps as it stands, so stay with us here. The racing going to begin in under 10 minutes. As looking right now at the Ross Corlett number 91, that is the Rod Car machine, taking it up to the track for the second qualifying lap of his attempt. Right now, Ross Corlett going to be scored in 11th as it stands. Of the 12 drivers who have taken the time so far, it looks like we have 22 drivers registered. At the moment, drivers are still heading onto the circuit. Wesley Kutznoff going on for his very first lap, and at the line, Ross Corlett going to take it there, and he'll put himself up from the 11th on the board all the way to 6th. So with that, there's Ross Corlett's run done and done. Now Wesley Kutznoff going to be on pit road. However, he has not gone on the track just yet. That is due to change. Wesley going to make his way onto the circuit now, and the 02 machine gets on the move. And just like that, another driver going to be taking qualifying time. Dustin Pickle also on the circuit. So with a few minutes remaining here in qualifying, drivers are still taking their first lap times, and they're going to have that opportunity to make it on the track, get those laps in, 2 fast lap attempts. That's all you have here in qualifying, so you got to make sure those are the absolute best you can run. And right now, for these drivers getting prepared for the long haul, there's the number 02 machine at the top of the track, coming down to the bottom side to get his first lap going. Wesley Kutznoff gets on the move, and just like that, the green flag will fall for his qualifying attempt. Michael Deitch also on the circuit at the same time. Michael Deitch going to be making it through in a Jimmy John's number 57. James Thurston right now not on the track, but Michael Deitch is, and he's making his way on here and now in that Chevy Camaro onto the circuit. Michael Deitch will go, and right now we're waiting on lap times from Caden Bailey. Bryce Hamrick is going to be race control, so we're not waiting on him. Joey Stone and James Thurston, and it looks like Zach Milano might be racing tonight. That is to be determined. We'll see whether or not he chooses to do so, as Wesley Kutznoff going to take it to the line that time through and go to 13th on the board. Now on to his second and final lap with 4 minutes and 30 seconds remaining. So still quite a lot of time for these drivers to get those laps in. A lap is taking about 30 seconds at the very most. Slowest time so far, a 30.7. Fastest is going to be at the moment a 29.908 by Ethan Workman, 3 thousandths of a second ahead of that number 43. Previously holding it, it was Jacob Wilkerson. Kutznoff is going to come to the line and qualify in 5th, so the 02 machine will drop in with Dustin Pickle now heading to the stripe. And for that number 21 machine, Dustin Pickle takes it from 14th on the order and moves it up into 9th. Michael Deitch, his first lap is going to be scored now in 15th, as Michael Deitch takes it down the back straightaway this time around, hoping for a bit more of an improvement as he goes through 3 and 4. And Deitch going to make it through this time by that number 57 machine, a brand new paint job representing TJ Hanley Designs. TH Designs is a collective helping out with Michael Deitch's paint schemes all season long. And the 57 machine qualifies in 10th provisionally. Going to take it up to the final spot inside the top 10 after a podium run last week, avoiding all the chaos. Michael Deitch looking good to stay competitive here in the coming weeks. Let's see what he has for in store in tonight's event. Joey Stone now going to take it to the track in the Ancient World number 8 machine, and still running in championship contention. That number 8 machine running just above the cut line, and the final 4 just 2 weeks away. Coming down to the final stretch in this series, of course, Season 3. It's been a thriller, but we've got to determine a champion some way, somehow. And we're getting closer to finding that way. Of course, Phoenix Raceway, that's where it was held last season. Not going to be the case this time around. The Homestead Miami Speedway is now going to be the new site of the FORL Cup Series championship night, and we will crown ourselves a title winner. One of the 7 drivers still in championship contention tonight will come home as the Season 3 championship winner. How's about we ride on board with Joey Stone right now and see what's going on inside the cockpit on his second flying lap. And you see there, Joey Stone backs it down, puts it on a pit road. He's going to qualify provisionally in the 5th position. However, now only going to be James Thurston on the track, and he has not yet put any rubber down, save for pit road. So James Thurston, unlikely to see him take a qualifying time. If anyone else were to, it would most likely be the number 4, but shot is slim that he'll get out from pit road now with less than 1 minute and 30 seconds remaining. Time continuing to run out here, and it looks like Thurston is going to opt to start at the back. Last time, of course, we saw him at Dover. He was a dominant driver and came out with the checkered flag. Nobody in sight. That number 4 machine kept it up front all night long, and tonight he's going to choose to start in the back of the field, it appears, and the Power Smash Infinity Speed Motorsport number 4 on the track. However, not taken a lap. So with that said, a little bit of time here to get your starting grid in, so let's find out the who's who of your field in Vegas. And without further ado, let's get right into it. This is your starting grid for the guilt-free lifestyle 180, the 19th race of Season 3, and Sin City will see the number 23 of Ethan Workman taking it to the pole position night in Vegas. Going to be a 29.908 for the driver, that number 23, and right beside him will be Jacob Wilkerson in second, Max Molina third, Michael Cormenis then in fourth, and the spread is minimal. 3 1,000s between your top 2, then another 6 1,000s from second to third. Michael Cormenis a bit further back with a 29.97 in the number 25. Then from there, Joey Stone going to be the 5th place driver with a 29.973. Wesley Kutznup is going to be in 6th, and 7th place then going to be occupied by Andrew Cootie, 29.997 for that number 9 machine, still fighting for a championship spot beside his teammate Ross Corlett, who was not championship eligible. Corlett will start in 8th with a 30.09. Then from there, Chance Parker will be the 9th place driver with a 30.157, and Dustin Pickle will conclude the top 10. Number 21 machine starting right behind one of his teammates as well, the CCH drivers, 3 of which qualifying in the top 10. Dustin Pickle, the last of which in the number 21. 11th place then going to be held by Michael Deitch and the Jimmy John's number 57. The Chevy Camaro that's going to be starting in 11th, qualified with a 30.181, and Hunter Bogdan will then be starting in 12th with a 30.233. It's now 233 after further calculation. In addition, Alex Jones going to be 13th, coming off of one of his biggest performances, a Kansas victory out of the blue. He's starting 13th tonight as we return to the intermediate tracks, hoping for some luck as the night progresses. 14th place going to be held by Brandon Rizmiller with a 30.039, 309 on further examination, and Henry Kaloff, 16th place, is going to be right beside him, but Henry holds 15th with a 30.405. Kenny Real, position number 16 with a 30.453, right beside Kaloff in that number 63. James Thurston going to be choosing not to take a time this time around. He'll be starting 17th in the back of the field. No qualifying time set. Bryce Hamrick, Zach Milano, that's your road crew for race control. They're also here for the ovals. Caden Bailey will start last in the grid here in Sin City, and just like that, their starting grid concludes from Las Vegas. And now the field is getting ready to go. Set. The stage has been, now the drivers are here too, and in only a few moments time, the iRacing official pace car will get rolling, and we'll have ourselves a race to remember. Not the biggest field size in the past few weeks, but we've seen some clean racing. Dover came down to just about 2 cautions, and tonight, we're hoping to see more of the same. Kansas got chaotic, but for the most part, it was a very long green flag run night as well, and we're going to see a few longer races to end this campaign. 200 miles at Homestead tonight is going to be be on the shorter side with 180 miles over 120 laps. So these drivers are going to fly through the night if it does stay green. Workman, Wilkerson, Molina, they all get on the move, and just like that, we're rolling for the first time in Las Vegas. And with drivers now set to get on the way, 120 laps, 180 miles. In the mile-and-a-half circuits, we've seen quite a lot of them so far this season. For a few drivers, Las Vegas is different. If you've been watching us all too often, well, first off, we thank you for your immense support, but Michael Cormetis, he has one IORA Cup Series win, and very few may remember where that track came. Of course, to be, it was Las Vegas, and it was Michael Cormetis who got it done. He knows this track very well. He's especially confident in what he's got. Talking to him pre-race, he's felt that he has more knowledge about this circuit than any other track on the iRacing platform, and that tonight, he feels most strongly about a chance at getting the race win. Mikey finds himself starting outside of the front row, but he's going to be starting up top in the second row, so not too far behind the race leaders already. And even though he is not in championship contention, he feels strongly there's a shot to go for the race win. Push comes to shove, that number 25 machine might just be in the picture. As they come through, this time through turns 3 and 4, the iRacing official pace car will let the drivers roll the dice at the mile-and-a-half track in Nevada. The green flag will fly in Las Vegas. Welcome to the guilt-free lifestyle 180. Already aggression up in front there. Max Molina going to be right behind Jacob Wilkerson. 43 machine takes the race lead, and the remainder of the field going to be set to chase him back, as already now we got a race leader gaining some time and gaining an advantage. 17 drivers took to the start of the green flag, and just like that, we are on the move. Wilkerson gets that early jump. Nice advantage to get things started, but you'll see further on back in the field, everyone keeping it close. Right now, no major separation from front to back. Initial lap's going to be all clean and all green. James Thurston in particular making up some big time already. 17th up to 12th, and now going to be going down to the bottom side to get under Michael Deitch. Might be able to get through on Ross Corlett as well. Jones is going to bump that 91 up the track, and it's going to let James Thurston go 3 wide. Already aggressive maneuvers being made, and the number 4 machine takes him 3 wide, gets the spot, wiggles up top, and going to try to go for Ross Corlett too. Michael Cormetis is fighting for second, and now you'll see Max Molina up top, your defending series champion, looking to make it work on that second groove, while Mikey's got the bottom side and lunges in nicely to keep the spots. Michael Cormetis makes it and just gets into the second place. Jacob Wilkerson running away once again, and I think more and more he's the odds-on favorite for the championship here in the FORL Cup Series. The rookie driver has been able to break out with a successful campaign, more wins than any other driver coming into the night. He's won 4 times to open up a season or a round. He won at Daytona to kick off the campaign, won at, of course, the round of 15's opener, won at the round of 11 opener, and now finds himself up in the front of the field once again, looking to get things done as a rookie driver. The championship not far out of reach already. He's firmly locked in to put himself in the picture for the Final 4, and he's the only driver you can really check off and say he's making it to Homestead no matter what. Michael Cormetis, though, he knows he's got a lot of hungry drivers right behind him. Take a look now at Andrew Cootie making some moves, and Andrew Cootie not locked in with no oval wins this season. He's got 3 wins overall and swept the road courses. Winning, of course, 3 times over in the twists and turns is by no means a small feat. With no road courses remaining on the schedule, it means Andrew Cootie, when you look at the probability, doesn't technically have any other races to win, but he's here to prove that's the wrong belief. And he's been showing he's had top 5 in podium speed, but has not yet been able to grab that top step. His last oval victory, Season 2 Daytona, and he's been having, of course, that issue of just not making it happen in the final lap. Gotten close many times before, most recently Kansas in the chaotic last lap turn of events. Now someone else is crawling through the field, and it is that number 4, James Thurston, up top. He's right there in the number 4 machine, looking already high on Max Molina. Started in 17th, up to 5th. If he can get by Max this time by, he's got it clear at the stripe, just barely going to have the advantage, and Max Molina is going to see James Thurston on his high side for the first time tonight. And even though he started back in the field, always James Thurston, a contender to take spots and go for a race win. So taking a look at how fast he's been already, it's no surprise he's up inside the top 5, and now gonna have to fight with Workman, Cooney, and a very close to spinning Michael Cormetis. Mikey gonna lay on Andrew Cooney just a bit, and luckily the both of them get away from it, but certainly could have been much worse. And push gonna come to shove once again. Thurston's gonna see the side-by-side battle with Mikey nearly end sour, and the 25 machine fades that big, already going to be dropping back into the 6th position. Michael Cormetis dropping deep, and now James Thurston going to be able to get on the move. He gets by Mikey, gets by Molina, and it's going to be James Thurston in 4th, watching the battle for the runner-up position. And right now, Jacob Wilkerson is his own zip code. You can see how wide the frame is here to give any other driver a chance to be in the same picture. For Jacob Wilkerson, he's out in his own world, running good lap after good lap. Nobody as quick as he is right now, gaining about a 1/10 of a second of the rest of the field each and every time around. Andrew Cooney goes up top here with some side force and some more momentum. And it looks like now they'll be neck and neck down the back straightaway, and it's going to be the advantage given Andrew Cooney. He makes a sharp blocking turn down low, and double digits already. Andrew Cooney puts himself back on the top of the board, 2nd place right now, and he's got a hard charging number 4 machine up top to deal with very soon. James Thurston bringing Max, of course, Max Molina and Michael Cormetis up to the high side. Take a look at who's running up there on pace right now. Hunter Bogdan in that double zero machine has not had the strongest of runs of the intermediates all season long. Not able to get it done in the early stages, and then when the strategy falls behind, we're often left with nothing else in the race. But Hunter Bogdan right now has that speed. He's up there with the leaders for a reason. He's up there on the top side right now using that side draft from James Thurston. Thurston going to currently be scored in 3rd, but Michael Cormetis drops down low once again. And it looks like now Mikey's got a bit more speed than anticipated. And the number 4 machine going to have to settle for the top side, at least for now. Hoping to get that draft from Andrew Cooney, because Cooney is right in front of him. And that might be the biggest key to success in this battle here, as Andrew Cooney's going to let just enough draft slip by the number 4 machine. Michael Cormetis lunges down low to 3 and 4, has that edge, and at the stripe, while he might not have the position, he's got the opportunity to lay even further into turns 1 and 2, and you'll see now as they enter the first turn, Mikey sends it, almost gets it clear immediately, and by the time they hit turn 2, James Thurston has to sit back, but he's not relaxing. Look in the further back section of the field here, everyone in the field, 17 drivers, are separate by 2.5 seconds. Everyone's racing close quarter here, going to be side by side between Kenny Reel, Henry Kaloff, and Wesley Kutznoff up top. Wesley's got that high side, going to be Kenny Reel in the middle, and Henry Kaloff is going to back off here, seeing the danger of the situation, doesn't choose to get involved, and just like that, another set of drivers going to break away. Chance Parker, and it looks like it's going to be Kenny Reel too, breaking from the back of the pack, hoping to get in the middle of the picture and maybe fight for something up in front. Andrew Cooney now going to be in 2nd. Looks like Michael Cormetis gets there in the 3rd. James Thurston holds on in 4th, and the hard charger so far tonight, James Thurston making mega moves. He's going to find himself just inside the top 5 from 17th on the grid. And the question now, because his drivers are settling in, Ethan Workman going to bobble just a bit, but no major missteps by any driver, and not the biggest of field sizes, so will we see a long green flag run to kick off the night? That has become the question lingering in these drivers' minds, and you'll see not as much aggressive driving as it was in the first 10 laps, now starting to settle into a more consistent, more relaxed groove. And right now, even if you're in the front of the field, you know you cannot be slacking, even if you're going to be a bit calmer. James Thurston and Michael Cormetis, Andrew Cooney as well, all catching up to Jacob Wilkerson, and now that number 43 machine, which looked to be oh so fast to kick off the night, coming back down to earth, that time time by 0.2 of a second slower than Andrew Cootie, and Cootie is coming quick. It was a 30.252 as opposed to a 30.064, a deficit and a difference large enough to make waves lap after lap, and now less than half a second separates he and Andrew Cootie. At one point, Jacob Wilkerson had over a 1.5 lead. Now that is no longer the case, and he's dropping back down with Cootie the fastest driver, and now Ethan Workman looking to go down low on a Michael Cormetis. Just can't find the room and can't find the space. Just like that, number 23 machine Ethan Workman goes up high. Michael Cormetis right there with them, and they're going to all go through nearly the same arc for every driver in the early stages of this race. Not a lot of drivers looking to do things different. Jacob Wilkerson takes it down to the second groove. Andrew Cootie eventually goes there as well, and most drivers opt to use that bottom line. It just as cutting that distance is the way to go when everyone's trying to get away from you, and just about everyone as well is single file. Joey Stone going to be racing side by side with Hunter Bogdan for a brief moment. Now Joey's going to be able to claw back up into 6th. He's going to try to get up there with James Thurston, go down to the apron here and cut down for 5th. Joey Stone making moves as well. Not the best of qualifying efforts for this number 8 team, but all of a sudden, Joey Stone in the mix at the same time and making some moves early, understanding that qualifying, you don't want it to be the biggest setback of their night. So now it's time to be aggressive early, get those spots, hopefully hang on for the first cycle, and go from there. Get yourself on the right strategy, and the remainder of the race will be a piece of cake. That's usually the general philosophy for these drivers here, so they made it to this point. They're looking a lot better than before, and side by side, almost as Joey Stone tries to take it high on Ethan Workman, just can't find the room, and still looking for an opportunity, as is going to be the 23 machine shutting the door once again. Stone gets up to his back bumper, goes down to the bottom at the last moment, and now side by side through turns 3 and 4, Joey Stone's making his way and has that opportunity to take the spot in just a moment. It looked like Ethan Workman would hold on, and now the moment has passed. Joey Stone going to put down that real pressure. 20 laps in, Jacob Wilkerson leads, Andrew Cootie second, and the third place driver, Michael Cormetis, is now just under half a second behind your race leading driver, who is still not making enough time because Andrew Cootie is getting there quicker and quicker. Burnt Rubber Racing Warehouse, number 43, have the advantage off the jump, and the start finish line clearly going to be an advantage for Jacob Wilkerson. Had a lead of over 1 second, and now dropping back slowly but surely into the clutches of this number 9. Andrew Cootie looking more and more like he's got a chance to get this race lead. Goes up top, gonna save a bit more of the tire. Wilkerson still driving as hard as it can get, and now the question becomes, how is Jacob Wilkerson approaching this strategy as the race is going on? 22 laps in out of 120, and presumably, as we've seen before, this race will be broken up into a typical division type strategy. We're either going to see about 40 lap pit stop cycles to get the race split up as a 2-stop strategy, or we're going to see drivers holding on until about lap 60 to make it a 1-stop night, and you're going to have only 2 cycles to work with. We do have multiple sets of tire left in the garage, but for most of these drivers are not planning to make more than 2 pit stops at the very most, and it shows right now as the leaders have spread themselves apart further and further, and guys further back are still racing each other cleanly, although they are close, and the respect level is evident. Joey Stone now going to try to make his way as he's got Ethan Workman just ahead. Joey goes up top, and James Thurston dropping back once again. He came through, but like a shooting star, looks to be crashing down a bit early, and Max Molina going down the Nellis straightaways got the advantage. Thurston's gonna back off, have to go down to the 7th here, with Alex Jones chasing as well, and Chance Parker also putting himself in the picture at the same time. Side by side for second once again, Michael Cormetis gonna go way down low. Andrew Cootie's got it up top, and we'll see whether or not the high groove works this time. Neck and neck on entry. Pettis keeps it honest, but it looks like Cootie's just got the run. Not enough for Mikey there, and just like that, Andrew Cootie takes the second spot right back, and nobody else able to contest this number 9 machine for second tonight. And even though now he's slowly but surely losing time again to Jacob Wilkerson, he's still there firmly in second and has to keep on going here, understanding if there's any chance to win this race, you got to keep in it until the fight is done. Max Molina right now going to be just ahead of Ethan Workman, and we can watch right now and see what's going on as we see 26 laps in, still all green, and your defending champion currently running in 5th. And riding on board here with a Max Molina, you'll see 26 laps in at a 120. So far, nobody else coming nearly close to this number 45 machine. He's kept it up in front, has not had to worry all too much about over-aggressive driving because he's been in his own world right now, behind Joey Stone and ahead of Ethan Workman. Workman's being pressured still by James Thurston, and as it stands, that number 4 machine remains behind the back bumper of the Cleveland.com Camry. And James Thurston for Power Snash Infinity Speed Motorsport, he's out there alone tonight. Doesn't mean he can't keep on fighting. Round of 16, he was eliminated in after not making the opening race of the playoffs. Almost won at Watkins Glen. It went the way of Andrew Cootie, and now Thurston chasing checkered flags. Most recently got it done at the Dover Motor Speedway. Of course, that was last week. And now moving on from Dover back to the west side of the country, he's going to look for one more, if not two, to conclude what's been an overall successful but disappointing Season 3. Jacob Wilkerson down low this time by, gonna go for a very early pit stop. We're looking for multiple pit cycles if this is indeed the case. 28 laps in out of 120, and the way things are looking, it's gonna be about a 3-stopper as drivers come in. Lap number 29 out of 120. Gonna be about a 30-lap run for Wilkerson, and Michael Cormetis goes down as well. Just like that, pit road gonna get very busy for the first time tonight. Stops are gonna be on the way, and Michael Cormetis and Jacob Wilkerson will lead the field down for the very first time. 29 laps in out of 120. It's now going to be Joey Stone leading. Andrew Cootie just went down a pit road as well. Cootie makes his way in, and so does Wesley Kutznook, not to mention Dustin Pickle going to be coming into frame as well. And just like that, pit road getting very busy early. Joey Stone, Max Molina, they're hoping to run this strategy a bit longer to have an advantage later in the race. And now, going to be evident it's a multi-pit stop night. 4 runs, 3 stops. That's the way it's looking if it goes under green. Max Molina going to make it in. A very close call there. So it was for James Thurston too. All slowly but surely coming in together, but no issue and no trouble on pit road. Brandon Rismiller also makes it in clean. Henry Kaloff in as well. And now only 3 drivers remain. And like it was in Kansas, it's Joey Stone, Alex Jones, and Chance Parker running long, hoping to get the advantage out of staying on the track just a bit longer here, and we'll see how that works out. Hopefully, in Joey Stone's mind, the situation is as this. You go a bit longer on the older tires, you have the new tires for a bit longer, and that's going to play into your favor in that final run. If your last run is shorter, you can be a bit more aggressive, use up your equipment a bit more, and that will give you the edge in fighting for the race win, because you can be as relentless as possible and still not lose the top spot. One driver flying now is going to be through the grass. That looks to be Wesley Kutznoff, and still in the grass Wesley is. And trouble, but it looks like he's going to stay out of harm's way. Getting back on the track, Wesley Kutznoff just drove through the grass for a full front straightaway. And all about that number 02 machine for now, but it looks like Wesley gets away. No harm, no foul. Joey Stone still getting on pit road here as Jacob Wilkerson comes around. Joey's going to be at exit of pit road when Jacob Wilkerson is, so dead even at that point, but Wilkerson will break away once again, and the race lead goes back in the hands of this number 43. Jacob Wilkerson leads. About a second and a half back now is a Michael Cormetis. Then you're going to see Max Molina, Ethan Workman, and Andrew Cootie. Joey Stone cycles out once again in the 7th position, just barely getting passed by Kenny Reel, and now seeing some more pressure from Ross Corlett further on back. And a big change to the running order for the guys beyond your race leader. 33 laps in out of 120. Jacob Wilkerson leads the way. Michael Cormetis is second. Max Molina is third. And your top 3 as it stands take it down the Nellis straightaway in the guilt-free lifestyle 180. Out in front, once again, the rookie sensation of Jacob Wilkerson, as he is going to look now to add to an already impressive category of wins, more than any other this season, 5 of which to keep the checkered flags rolling, and looking now to making more than 5, of course, going for 6. He's been in the mix of race victories all season long, and no other driver quite as dominant as Jacob Wilkerson so far in this campaign. But tonight, Michael Cormetis, he came out with the intention of winning this race, regardless of his championship status. Mikey hopes to fight for a title, and as it stands, that number 25 machine gonna go up the track through 3 and 4, get to that front straightaway, and he knows he's got the speed now, but just has to get back up to Wilkerson to give him any chance at a battle for the top spot. Now Ethan Workman's going to lie even further back, about 2 seconds beyond your second place man. You'll see there Ethan Workman on the bottom side. Andrew Cootie is there in the middle, and around back you got Max Molina rounding out the top 5. Andrew Cootie goes up top, so does Workman. Looks like for now Andrew's got the 3rd place held, and from there on out you'll see Kenny Reels in 6th, Ross Corlett 7th, Joey Stone 8th, Michael Deitch 9th, and Brandon Rismiller then in 10th. Very far back in the field right now, James Thurston, who did start in 17th, once again in 13th, and it looks like from a very good start in this campaign, the number 4 is falling back more and more, and a slow pit stop going to keep him far out of contention. 48.7 seconds for the driver of the number 4 machine, James Thurston. Big trouble, and now going to be in the back of the field with slim chance of getting back up there naturally, which is the way this race has gone so far. Very smooth 36 laps to open, and Jacob Wilkerson has held on for each and every one of which. Jacob Wilkerson continues to lead the way here in Las Vegas. Closest battle on the racing circuit, though, now going to be Wesley Kutznoff and Henry Kaloff. Henry's going to go down to the bottom side, looks to make a move. And just like that, nearly there already. Gonna lunge down to 3 and 4, getting blocked once again, but Wesley's been on ice for a while now. He drove all the way through the grass, and he knows that 0-2 machine is in a bit of trouble, a bit more than usual at least, as Wesley finds himself in the grass, losing all sorts of control. Saved it very well, but still not at all what you want to work with here. The tires that are scrubbed up from grass and all, you lose more grip, you lose that control, and now when you're in the heat of a battle like this, it's very hard not to concede and give that spot away immediately, and Wesley putting up a valiant effort despite the issues as the Mike Curb, number 63, now just moments away from making that move if he still has the pace. Wesley Kutznoff is holding on, but Henry Kaloff in 12th is looking to get just 1 spot away from the top 10, which is only a few tenths of a second away from them. You'll see Brandon Rismiller now going to be right behind Michael Deitch, and it looks to be Joey Stone up next. Hunter Bogdan is 1 lap down at the moment, off on strategy, because Bogdan had a longer pit stop as well. Joey Stone right now going to be chasing drivers just ahead of him, and you'll see it further up in the front of the field. From Joey Stone's perspective, Ross Corlett is the next man, and Corlett's going to be there with that number 11 of Kenny Reel, and Kenny running very well so far tonight. Part-time run so far for the number 11 this season, and he's been very quick up these intermediate tracks. It's been his specialty all season long, and if he wants to go for a top 5, top 3 run, or even a first career win, Kenny Reel knows that this is the place to be, and that number 11 Chevrolet has the advantage right now in the fight between he and Max Molina. Ross Corlett is there too, and don't count out Corlett. He does have 1 win this season, came at Atlanta, and he knows that if the checkered flag is in reach, he'll go for it, and he'll try to grab it no matter what. 41 laps in out of 120, and so far so good for the front runners in the field, as Jacob Wilkerson leads by a steady margin of 1.7 seconds. Not all too much going on regarding your leading battles. A lot to look at throughout the entirety of the field here, and you'll see how these drivers approach the battles different, how these moments are going to impact the remainder of the race. Henry Kaloff going to get by Wesley Kutznoff, but Henry knows as a driver in the round of 7, a 12th place finish or an 11th place finish would be unacceptable. Now, Alex Jones is stuck down at 15th, but still not good at all to be this far back, knowing that Max Molina, Ethan Workman, Andrew Cootie, Jacob Wilkerson are all going to gain big points on you. You got to get up there inside the top 10, at least fighting within the single digits. Because right now, 43 laps in, being 9 seconds behind your race leader, opportunities to get that race lead back without some uncanny strategy calls, very slim. So if you don't make the right calls here and now, it's going to be very troublesome in regards to getting back up there, and Henry Kaloff already knows it might not be the night to win the race. You got to understand what the next moves are to make it a good points night, though, and those good points nights, while they might seem to be a little less important than the checkered flag straight up, if you can manipulate your way to the front of the field using that strategy that you formulate and you understand what moves to make when and why, that will make you a much better driver. We're 44 laps in and already about halfway through our second pit run, and we're going to be getting yacked down a pit road once again for our second cycle of stops very soon here. Hunter Bogdan going to be in the mix, and he's going to be in the wall. Bogdan, the lap machine, going to be one lap down as it stands, fades back even further, and Wesley Kutznup gets right by him. You'll also see Brandon Rismiller in the mix, and now Brandon going to be on that high side, chasing the number 63 machine. Hunter Bogdan gets loose, he's going to slip out of frame. Now it's going to be Rismiller up top there, chasing directly the back end of Michael Deitch. Jimmy John's number 57 machine going to be currently running in ninth, and the single digits rounded out by the number 57, at least for now. Beating and banging, Kaloff is going to be up and down. Is it going to be a caution? It might not be. It's going to be down to the apron for Henry Kaloff, not on the racing circuit at all. The decision is going to be to keep things going, and 46 laps in, Henry Kaloff sees trouble, and the caution only now flies, and the yellow flag is out. For the first time tonight, Henry Kaloff involved with Brandon Rismiller, and the yellow flag is out. Middle of the field on back, and caution is out tonight. Henry Kaloff and Brandon Rismiller the first causes, so let's find out just what happened here as the mid-pack going to get feisty, and we will see trouble for the first time. Instant replay here on FTN. We're going to show you just what caused this wreck and bring you all the way back. Number 63 of Henry Kaloff going to be right in there, not to mention Brandon Rismiller and Michael Deitch. 57 machine going to be ahead, but what happens here between Henry Kaloff and, of course, Rismiller, the number 95, that's what causes the caution. Rubbing up on the top of the track, Rismiller hits the wall, comes down low, and the contact is going to send Kaloff all the way down to the bottom of the track. Rismiller gets away. Henry Kaloff, not so much, and the call is to make that a yellow flag. First caution of the day for 16th place, Henry Kaloff, and for the driver inside the round of 7, final 4 chances become that much slimmer as he fades to the back of the field. Little track position now, and we'll see what he can do as the night goes on. Henry Kaloff struggling big, and Jacob Wilkerson gonna lead him down, this time by the pit road. 47 laps in, and your first pit cycle under yellow gonna be on the move. Just going to change strategy big time here as drivers make their way in, and the guilt-free 180 keeps things rolling. Hunter Bogdan going to be in his pit stall. Kenny Reel is as well. Now time to find out who's going to be the first driver off of pit road here. Get the pit exit camera to show you what's going on. And right now, Jacob Wilkerson, Ethan Workman up in the front of the field, and according to their, of course, pit stalls. Workman up at the top of the board himself in that 23. Drivers already rolling off. Wilkerson gets the jump over Michael Cormetis, Ethan Workman, Andrew Judy, Kenny Reel, then going to be Max Molina, Ross Corlett, Joey Stone, and finally Wesley Kutznuff, with Alex Jones rounding out the top 10 and 11th place from there on out, then being held by James Thurston. 12th is going to be occupied, it looks like, by that number 57 of Michael Deitch, and then you're going to see Chance Parker there as drivers get back on the track. Jacob Wilkerson is your race leader, 48 laps in out of 120. And with Wilkerson advantageous yet again, it is still that edge of course having that track position up in front, but not as much as earlier on in the night. Of course, having that gap of several seconds between he and the rest of the field, it keeps you out in front, keeps you less attentive to the rest of the pack, but for good reason. Track position often does just about all of the work. And as it stands, this time by the driver of the number 43. Once again, Jacob Wilkerson, race leader, has it in his hands, and he's got 2 laps to go until our first restart of the night. Another very solid opening section of the race, however, not as long as, of course, we had it under green at Dover. Different track, different racing styles, so, of course, not going to be very easy to compare, but for Jacob Wilkerson, he knows one thing. It's a better night now than it was, of course, at Dover. James Thurston led just about flag to flag. We went to Dover, Delaware, and right now, for the driver of the number 43, he's got what it takes to hold on down low. The choose rule is going to be in effect, and he'll take it to the bottom side for our first restart here. 49 in of 120. Wilkerson bottom. Mikey goes top. Ethan Workman opting to go low side as well. Andrew Cootie going to be be the fourth driver, and he'll go up high, as it traditionally is. Choose rule, though, it gives him an option, and he'll stick with the same old, as we're set to get back at it just before your halfway marker. This is the guilt-free lifestyle 180, the 19th race of Season 3 in the FORL Cup Series, and more than halfway and just about at the conclusion of our season. The championship race is more live now than ever before. This time by, we're set to go back green. Pace car's length is going to be shortened. Its stay will end now, and Jacob Wilkerson is set to lead him to the green flag. This time by, hoping to burn it down in Sin City, the Burnt Rubber Racing Warehouse 43 leads us to the green flag for our first restart of the night. Michael Cormettis not going to make it easy there on that bottom side. Already the 25 machine looking to lunge down low. Mikey's got a shot. Rookie stripes between your top three drivers. And now the new breed is up in front. And they've got it for good reason. 50 laps in out of 120. Jacob Wilkerson once again going to break out and have that race lead. For back Michael Cormettis, Ethan Workman, and Andrew Cootie all together now. And trying to make those proper decisions so early in this race. And they're still fighting like it's the last lap, side by side, neck and neck, and you'll see Joey Stone gonna drop down low, mid-pack getting feisty as well. So these drivers are getting aggressive early, understanding that now with a much different landscape in terms of strategy, we really don't expect to see more than 2 pit stops left on the night if, of course, we get to that second. But now the question is, when do you go down for those pit stops? Because we had ourselves a caution that breaks up where we would have naturally had that second cycle. We were expecting to have pit stops at around lap 60. That will no longer be the case, of course, after our first run of pit stops. So now that things have changed, the question becomes, how do you split up the rest of the race? Because you'll have, give or take, 40 laps remaining after your next natural cycle, so to speak, which means you'll have to go down a pit road twice more in the event of a fully green flag race from here on out. Strategy changing, and now battle for second. It's in raging, as it's going to be Michael Cormettis in the bottom, Andrew Cootie way up top. And that number 9 machine got a head full of steam on the high side, barreling down the back straightaway, and 53 laps in, the guilt-free 180 is going to hold on strong. Chevy Camaro, number 9, McConey set up shop on the sides, and CCH Motorsport, of course, the result of their extensive success in the FORL Cup Series, bringing a new sponsor on. McConey set up shop on the hood, on the sides, on the deck lid. It's the CCH number 9 machine, now sponsored by Jeff McConey and the entire McConey setup shop crew. But it looks like right now, not set up right to take second. Michael Cormettis gets it right back, and Mikey puts himself in a solid spot, the runner-up position yet again. He's here to win, and he knows he's not fighting for a championship, so he has nothing else on the line. Nothing to lose, something to win. That's the way it goes for Michael Cormettis tonight, and he's going to play with all he's got on the line. Nothing held back. It's a relentless pursuit of victory for Michael Cormettis, knowing, of course, he was one of the most consistent drivers to kick off the season. A string of third-place finishes week after week after week, but unfortunately, part-time attendance meant he was not able to make the playoff cut in the round of 16, and from there on out, he showed up sparingly, but tonight he knew it would be a great opportunity to get that race victory. He's been hoping to get one this season. He still does not have that FORL Cup Series win under his belt, and he knows that given his expertise at Las Vegas, that could change if all goes well tonight. Up on the top side, Jacob Wilkerson goes for a block, but is not quick enough to see Mikey go down to the bottom through 3 and 4. Once again, same song, second verse, and Mikey looks to be nearly clear and gets loose. Side by side again, Jacob Wilkerson oh so close to getting right by at the line. Mikey's got the advantage and has the opportunity to lunge into 1 and 2, and he's gonna take it. Now Jacob Wilkerson finds himself back in second. It's Andrew Cootie in third, and Ethan Workman getting right there, eyeing the podium here, waiting in the wings in case we have trouble. Looks like right now they're racing riskier and riskier each and every lap, and we have not even got to our halfway point here. 57 laps in out of 120, and it's going to be the front stretch led by Michael Cormettis, Jacob Wilkerson, Andrew Cootie, and Ethan Workman, 3 drivers here, round the 7, immediately behind, and the championship spoiler now finds himself out in front. Number 25's got the race lead, and the rest of the field is now due to chase Michael Cormetis, and they'll see whether or not it's the rest of the night here. As you'll see James Thurston now going to try to pick apart a few more drivers. Thurston, not the pace he expected to have tonight, hoping to have a bit more in the tank. Right now, going to go down to the bottom side again on Alex Jones. This is the battle for the 8th position. Thurston's going to want to take it here, does not have it just yet, and at the line, it's going to be James Thurston down low, Alex Jones up top, and it'll be good enough to send deep and get that position immediately thereafter. Just like that, James Thurston gets it in there, 8th place for the number 4 machine, and Joey Stone going to be the final driver inside the main pack. He's running in 7th. Big difference between your guys in the front of the field and those way out in the back here. As you can see, now about 7 drivers breaking away. Rest of the pack, not so much, and they're all together from there on out, but it's a small group of the best getting away and fighting for the win. And now this group, as small as it gets, is getting near the halfway point. Jacob Wilkerson takes the lead back once again, and the flashy moves made by Michael Cormetis simply were not sustainable. And once again, Jacob Wilkerson shows he's no joke, but Andrew Coody's got trouble, and they're going to be oh so close, side by side, nearly dropping down to the wall. It looks like Andrew Coody had it lost. He gets it together once again. Ethan Workman is going to have to settle now for the 6th position, even down to 7th, and Michael Cormetis gets away from a tricky situation involving all of these drivers, the boys in blue, and it looks like they're going to be able to run it back now, as it's going to be that Coca-Cola 25 up in 2nd, but nobody in this pack happy now as Michael Cormetis lays it on Andrew Coody's quarter panel, gets him loose, and nearly drives him up the wall. Ethan Workman had to go down to the apron entirely to avoid it, and luckily for all of them, nothing else is going to come of it, as now we are past our halfway marker, 59 laps to go here in Vegas. We've gone so far already, and 62 laps in, it's going to be a big move from Jacob Wilkerson to take that lead back from Michael Cormetis. And you see already how far he's gotten. Number 43 machine, rookie stripes and all, once again, driving like a veteran and hoping to drive like a champion. Leading the way once more, and that number 43 machine at Wilkerson is a non-stop driver in this series. He does not come unprepared, no matter what the circuit is, no matter what track combo it is. It seems like tonight, Jacob Wilkerson once again back on his A game, and Michael Cormetis going to have to find some opportunity to take that spot away, but it's going to take a lot more effort than expected here. As you'll see, Andrew Coody goes up top. It's going to be Kenny Real now down low, fighting for 3rd. A little bit of door banging. Andrew Coody's going to be sent high, and Kenny Real not going to like that at all, but he'll have to keep on fighting. This through 1 and 2. Kenny Real has that all-important advantage on the bottom side, but Andrew Coody's been one of the best drivers at making that momentum on the top as important, if not more so, than the low line. And that's the biggest advantage that a driver can have. Not necessarily this specific example in particular, but if you're able to make these lines work, even if they're not the best in the world, that's what takes a driver and elevates their level of ability that much further. So Andrew Coody tonight has been one of the most flexible drivers, making that higher side work, making that second groove applicable, and he's going to be able to break away once again to 3rd. And you'll see now they're beating and banging again. 3 wide with Kenny Real, Ethan Workman, and Ross Corlett. It gives room to James Thurston to get in the mix, and now Thurston gonna block Kenny Real, go down low, finds himself already side by side with Ross Corlett. Even Alex Jones is in the picture, and it looks like already some drivers who we didn't expect to see come back have come back knocking, and they're knocking on the door real quick. James Thurston going to be behind Ross Corlett for now, though, and Joey Stone now going to be up in the 4th. Top 4 drivers, 3 of which are in championship contention. Joey Stone, who's above the cut line tonight, needs a solid run to lock down his chances to make the final 4, so running just outside the podium, not at all a bad place to be. And of course, Michael Cormetis not running for the championship. He's not eligible to win the title. That means it's about a 3rd place run effectively in terms of those drivers that he's competing against, but that could change, as it looks like now Joey Stone gets by Andrew Coody with quick work made of that number 9. Joey Stone's Ancient World Chevy Camaro takes another spot back, and it's going to be the race lead now held by Jacob Wilkerson by 1.1 seconds. And from there on out, Michael Cormetis can be the runner-up man, Joey Stone third, Andrew Cootie fourth, and Ethan Workman position number 5. Everyone still fighting further on back. Here's Workman will ride on board with this number 9 one of Ross Corlett as he sees Ethan Workman and Andrew Cootie continue to battle. And watching now on board with Ross Corlett, you'll see how close these drivers are to each other. No matter where you are on the track, every point matters. And 15 of the 17 drivers on the circuit right now, no retirees tonight. They're separate by only 3.5 seconds, so there's very little room between drivers so far. Cootie can get bumped up the track once again, and right now Andrew Cootie working with very little room up top because drivers are pinching them, squeezing them, sending them all the way high. And now 69 laps in for Jacob Wilkerson, a very nice lead to work with, continues to extend as at the line Wilkerson's got that lead all over again. He's got the big advantage he needs, and now 22 laps in on this stint, we're less than 10 laps away from seeing another pit cycle come in and come out. And now with 51 laps to go, the question becomes, how do these drivers split what's left, because they are expected to make 2 more pit stops in 51 laps, and that is going to be very tough to deal with here because it's not even split. It's not going to be as simple as it was to start this race. And now it's not about dividing it with nice numbers, it's about dividing your time and making sure you've got that proper strategy to take you to the checkered flag on the top of the board. Joey Stone now going to be side by side with Ethan Workman here. Ethan went up high, loses that momentum to start, but he's going to charge down the back straightaway with a much better late exit, and that apex change is going to help him out substantially. And you'll see now the Cleveland.com number 23 drops to the bottom side, gets it low and in, and neck they'll be at the stripe all over again. Start-finish line now with only 50 laps remaining, and drivers are already coming in. Looks like Andrew Cootie and Kenny Real opt to go in this time by. They'll try a different strategy, and now there will be 14th and 15th respectively. Cootie, Real, they're going to be the first 2 drivers in as we get back to green flag racing. Pit cycle already on the move, and a bit early here. Jacob Wilkerson's call is to stay on the track this time by, and we'll see who goes in next. Looks like the number 9 and number 11 ready to tempt fate. Nobody else going to go for the same measures already, and it's going to be Jacob Wilkerson, Michael Cormetis, Joey Stone still out in front. As you'll see there, James Thurston in the middle of all the chaos finds himself in the fight, and when you think of it so far, 48 laps to go for the guilt-free lifestyle 180. Back to the field, you'll see Max Molina not making good time tonight. He's in 10th right now, and behind his fiercest championship rivals, Max Molina finding trouble, and we'll see what he can do with the rest of this race ahead of him. Still not out of this one for certain, but definitely going to be down lower in the position order than he'd like to be. Finds himself now just inside the single digits in 9th, but take a look on his back bumper here and see how many drivers are still hounding this 45. And in the thick of a championship race, this pressure is mounting. And you'll see Max Molina, while he has slowly but surely gotten away from those behind him, he's still not truly out of harm's way, because running in 9th right now with drivers like Jones, Thurston, Stone, Workman, and Jacob Wilkerson all ahead. Not at all where you want to be, because every race in this championship format, the playoff system, is that much more important. You have to be nearly perfect each and every night around and gain as many points as possible. And now it's going to be Michael Cormetis, who's not looking for points at all, coming down to pit road 27 laps in. He'll come in next on the order. 46 to go, 27 laps in with stint. Michael Cormetis makes it in, and the number 25 machine opts to go through, now scored in 13th, as leader of Jacob Wilkerson now has 1.3 seconds to spare. Then you look back at Joey Stone. Then you'll see Ethan Workman. Not to mention there's also James Thurston and Wesley Kutznoff. And for Joey Stone, he's been one of those impressive rookies all season long. And the number 25 machine is going to come in. And now the number 43 does as well. Jacob Wilkerson down a pit road this time by. Makes it through immediately after Mikey. Jacob Wilkerson opts to go down and in. And pit road going to be busy all over again. Now the cycle back in full swing, and as we mentioned, 44 laps to go. So the expectation is no matter what is going on for these drivers, in the next 44 laps, there is still one more pit stop to make. And it's going to be most likely within the next 20 to 25 laps. You got to understand the situation here for these drivers. They got to split up 44 laps into 2 firm pit stops. Thurston takes a majority of the field down and in. It's James Thurston, Alex Jones, Max Molina, Chance Parker, and Michael Deitch all coming in together this time by with 43 laps to go. Another bunch makes their way through, and the Gylt Free 180 is going to see another few sets of drivers make their way in and roll the dice on pit road. Luckily, no major incidents into these pit stops, but that could change as drivers continue to lock it in. It's going to be Ross Corlett coming in with Ethan Workman. No trouble for the both of them here, which only leads now 3 drivers out. Henry Kaloff going to be scored in 3rd for now. Joey Stone going to be 2nd, and Wesley Kutznoff is now your new race leader, and Wesley finds himself up in front by only about a quarter of a second. And we'll see how much more time Wesley will opt to spend up at the top of the board. 31 laps on his run so far, and the choice is to come down a pit road this time by. Joey Stone makes the same call, and now pit cycle already going to be complete. Brandon Rismiller makes it in this time by, and he comes through with Henry Kaloff too. James Thurston already back on the track. He's going to be 1 lap down, set to get his lap back, and the race leader after this cycle is set to be once again Jacob Wilkerson, but it might not be without a fight. Andrew Cootie now going to be in the back bumper of that number 43, and even though these guys had similar times in and out of pit road, Cootie is hounding the 43 and coming in hot. Jacob Wilkerson has not seen this type of pressure all race long, and all of a sudden now Andrew Cootie laying down the law, and that number 9 machine on the offense big time now with only 40 laps to go. 40 laps going to remain this time by as Andrew Cootie and Jacob Wilkerson are now your 1-2 tandem up in front. Taking a look atop the number 9 machine, Andrew Cootie's as close as he's been all night long to a race victory and trying to snap that winless streak here in the ovals. He lunges down to the bottom side, keeps it neck and neck. Jacob Wilkerson going to see it differently, of course. He's on the high side trying to make it work on the second groove. Andrew Cootie going to drop further down the apron out of the blind spot here, and the 43s barely got the edge, but when they lunge it down into turns 1 and 2, Andrew Cootie's seen this maneuver used against him oh so many times. He'll try to combat it. Wilkerson's got momentum. Andrew Cootie's got the charge, and the number 43 taps the wall, which keeps Cootie right in it there, and the pressure is on. Andrew Cootie drops it low once again, and now in the dying laps of this one, Andrew Cootie not bowing out without any fight. It's going to be side by side at the line again. Cootie's got the edge, has the lap led, and just like that, the number 9 machine has the advantage as they're side by side in Sin City, keeping it as close as they possibly can be. Lap after lap after lap, consistency amidst the pressure. It's especially challenging to be so good when you know what's on the line. Championship rivals, the number 9 and the number 43, the winningest driver of the road courses all season long versus the winningest driver on the ovals. And to these two, it's been all about the checkered flag. They know what it's like to win here in the FORL Cup Series. They know the challenge up in front and the level of quality drivers at the head of the field, the top 5, top 10 every night. It's astounding to see how close these drivers continue to be, and tonight it is no different. Wilkerson ahead once again, but Andrew Cootie not going to leave him alone. That number 9 machine is still right behind, and now Wilkerson is trying to make some distance after a fight from Cootie. It's Workman and James Thurston going at it, and Thurston's going to get on that top side, trying to keep it right there with Ethan Workman. Ethan's got a slight edge in the 1 and 2, and that advantage is going to be all he'll need to drop it down in, stay within the fight for just another chance at a podium. James Thurston, though, still going to be in the thick of it, and you'll see Hunter Bogdan, the lap machine, also getting there too. Bogdan now going to split the distance, or is he? Is he going to lie back? Now the question is how these lappers interact here as that double zero tries to stay within touch of these leaders. Bogdan could, in fact, get in there and try to battle with the both of them. That really won't get him anywhere. Right now, Hunter Bogdan is a total of 2 laps down. Not the worst of the entire field right now. Ross Corlett is 6 laps down and counting. However, Bogdan's night, for all intents and purposes, just about done in regards to him getting a race win or any solid finish. Right now, very slim chance for that Bogdan double zero machine, as he's got a lot of trouble, and he does have another driver ahead of him in terms of being 1 lap down. That is Brandon Rismiller. So really not expecting all too much from Bogdan. Looking, he tried to make a move in and now lays back. And Jacob Wilkerson, after some pressure from Andrew Cootie, gets back on the power, gets away from the number 9, and Jacob Wilkerson is your new race leader all over again. That number 43 takes the top spot, and the checkered flag, he's already envisioning it in his mind for another chance at victory lane. Jacob Wilkerson, as if he wasn't already firmly locked into the final 4 already, looking to set it straight with not only the most points on the season so far, but in addition, the most victories in each and every round of the playoffs so far. It's been dominant from Wilkerson, looking for what would be his 3rd win in this playoff system, and he's got it almost in his hands already. With 34 laps to go, coming down to 33. Times can still change, and anything can still happen in the dying laps in Las Vegas. Now, look further back and you'll see the battles continue to brew here. You're going to look at Ethan Workman, that number 4 spot. He's going to be holding. James Thurston, while getting ahead, has not gotten away. And there's still a chance here for the 23 to make something happen, while there's an even closer battle just behind. Max Molina, Kenny Reel, and in addition, Wesley Kutznoff all racing each other hard. 0-2 machine goes down to the bottom side, looking way down low. That's going to be Wesley taking it in. And that number 11 machine of Kenny Reel not having a lot of luck and getting right by. Looks like for this instance, the number 02 at Camry fighting of course, Camaro gets the edge, and the Toyotas have it over the bow ties for now. As you'll see, Max Molina also up in front of Kenny Reel, and Molina holding his own right now in 7th. Alex Jones is running in 6th. Michael Cormetis runs in 5th, and 4th place is held by Ethan Workman. Alex Jones right now for Jaw Racing trying to make something happen on Michael Cormetis. Right on board right now with the 045 machine as he takes it side by side with the number 25. And you'll see there, Alex Jones gets a much better run down the front straightaway. Going to take it side by side immediately with Michael Cormetis. And going through turns 1 and 2, no contest there. The 045 takes the spot immediately. And Mikey's going to have to let it go and fade back into 6th. Michael Cormetis has had a good run all night long, but not the race-winning performance he wanted to show the drivers he had in store. Definitely a very quick driver here in Las Vegas. Had top 3 speed for the first half of the night. Since then, not necessarily able to keep up with those front runners in the same level of pace. Side by side, 29 laps to go. Now going to be between Wesley Kutznoff and Max Molina. You'll see neck and neck. Molina going to be up top. Wesley Kutznoff going to be right now going up higher. And it's going to be a crossover maneuver, maybe played by Max Molina as they rush down the back straightaway. And that Toyota Camry not done yet. You'll see right now the 45 machine chasing Mikey and Wesley at once. And Cormetis gets really loose once again, all out of sorts from Michael Cormetis, and it looks like he's giving it his all, and he might have given it a bit too much. Fades back, loses 2 spots at once, and looks like it's going to be a very easy pass. Michael Cormetis getting all sorts of out of control, and all the power he's put in, all that aggression, the risky racing, not coming back in his favor right now. And that Chevy Camaro continues to lose time, and you now look at that driver, the number 8 machine, Joey Stone. He's had an up and down night, had a very good strategy going, but this green flag cycle really not playing in his favor here. Now in 9th, he'd like to take that free spot and get back up into 8th, as after the night, it's expected he'll be under the cut line. I have only 2 races left, including our season finale. You cannot be anywhere further under as Michael Cormetis ends up in the wall, goes spinning, and he goes sideways, blinks out, and the caution will be called. Michael Cormetis brings out the yellow flag, and it looks like he'll cause the caution, and according to our timing and scoring system, he will immediately disconnect. So the caution can be caused for a driver who already left the race. And with 26 laps to go, we're brought back down to earth. Michael Cormetis will spin, and perhaps intentionally, and bring out the caution. Yellow flag is out once again, and we'll take a look here, because this does look to be a bit more suspicious than initially expected. As Michael Cormetis, we inspected that spin, thought he was just running out of control. Now, a bit of a different mindset for these drivers, as Mikey's going to find himself in trouble, and we'll take that instant replay, find out what's going on here as we're riding live. Previously, here's now a replay on board with Michael Cormetis. See how much trouble he's having there as he goes right into the corner, gets it loose, spins it out, goes for that 360, and immediately disconnects from the session then and there. So it looks like his night's going to be just like that, done and done. And leading drivers getting back on their way here. Bit of trouble pulling up that replay because Michael Cormetis did leave the session, and now the caution out once again. 26 laps to go, and this will end the pit stop debacle. No other cycles are going to be expected to take place with 25 to go. This should be the final pit stop of the night, and every driver comes in on level footing. Now let's see who makes their way out first. Coming out of pit road this time by, it's going to be a huge jump in front for Kenny Reel, winning the race off pit road, and then from there, Jacob Wilkerson, James Thurston, Andrew Cootie, Ethan Workman, Alex Jones, Joey Stone, and Wesley Kutznoff, with Michael Deitch then in 9th, and the final man of the top 10, it will be the driver of the number 63, Henry Kaloff. Caution is out. Yellow flag flies again. First retiree of the day, Michael Cormetis. He will spin, immediately disconnect, and call it a race. And the yellow flag will fly with 25 laps remaining. 25 machine cause a caution, and we are back under pacing yet again. Yellow flag will fly. The drivers continuing to wait around. The iRacing official pace car going to get back in order in just a few moments' time. Here we have it, Las Vegas with 25 remaining. Out of 120 laps, we've made it 96 deep so far. Expected to go back green this time by or the next. And it looks like right now, with the iRacing official pace car ahead, the field is already bunched up. We're set to go to our choose rule very soon, and we should be coming back to green with 23 laps to go. And that we will be. Bogdan gets back in the lead lap. Your leader is Kenny Reel, and for a driver who's shown us so much pace at the intermediates, it's a shock he doesn't have that first win just yet. Tonight, that may change. It's a big gamble on strategy, but it looks like it works out for Kenny Reel to get the race lead. Quicker pit stop than everyone else in the field by 7 seconds. 32.4 second stop compared to Jacob Wilkerson's 39.3. And now time to see the choose rule in effect. Kenny goes low. Jacob Wilkerson is going to switch it back, and Kenny opts to end up going high as he'll take it right above the cone. Reel up top, Wilkerson down low, and the rest of the field chooses immediately thereafter with James Thurston on the high side and Andrew Cootie down on the bottom. And now with the driver set to go at it once again. Back straight away, we've cleared it. Time to move on to the front stretch. The iRacing official pace car going to let the drivers get back to business. 23 laps to go. This time by, final pit stops taken care of under yellow. Now the question becomes, can we stay under green for the rest of the way? Green flag set to drop for restart number 2. Kenny Reel gets things moving. James Thurston right behind, and the green flag flies, led by Kenny Reel. Kenny Reel immediately drops to the wayside there, losing oh so much time, and just like that, gonna fade back just outside the top 5 already as the leaders get going with James Thurston now having the advantage with 22 laps to go. This time by, as always, live on FTN. We'll crank it up with the best camera partners on the entire iRacing platform. Visit trackcams22.com for more information after tonight's broadcast, as we are set to crank it up with 22 laps to go, courtesy of our friends at Track Cams for Gourmets. James Thurston is now 17 laps away from going back-to-back in the FORL Cup Series, coming out of nowhere late in the going, and just like that, Thurston back on top. He's not fighting for the championship, but Ethan Workman is, and Workman goes down to the bottom side, and he's going to try to make the move for the race lead on the low end here of the circuit. Workman on the bottom, James Thurston up top. They're neck and neck as it stands, and you'll see Jacob Wilkerson right there too, as you'll see your top 5 bunched up within 1/2 a second. Then there's Alex Jones, Max Molina, Wesley Kutznoff, and even Henry Kaloff still in the mix. Don't count anyone out within your top 10. In these final laps, there are still moves to be made that are not quite expected. The unpredictable may occur, and right now, that's the most expected outcome. James Thurston's got the lead. Jacob Wilkerson still there in second, though, and Andrew Cootie, position number 3 as it stands with 16 laps remaining. 9 laps have given way to new drivers at the head of the field. James Thurston, one of which now has a huge advantage in terms of that speed over the rest of the field, but Jacob Wilkerson won't let him go. 15 laps remaining, and Wilkerson knows he's led almost all up tonight, and he won't give it up quick. He lunges down on the bottom, can't find it there. Moves back down on the low side again, but this time he's just going to take the corner normal and take the exact same apex as every other driver. Now takes it down to the apron, trying to cut down even more distance, but Thurston's got that edge, and the question now becomes whether or not the clean air is enough to surpass, because Thurston, getting accustomed to all that clean air up in front, will give him an opportunity to just keep on leading, and the harder it becomes to pass the driver, the more you use up your stuff, and the more the driver ahead of you has less to worry about, because the clean clean air will carry him lap after lap after lap. Brandon Rismiller is a lap machine, and we'll see what he can do here as that number 95 machine is just moments away from being crept up on by the entire field. 14 laps to go, coming down this time by to only a baker's dozen. 13 laps left. Brandon Rismiller going to be up on the high side of the track, and it looks like he's going to try to cross down low here. Thurston is close. No contact as they'll have to swerve out the way of the number 95. Brandon Rismiller stays up top, doesn't choose to let these guys go as easy as expected, but still no contact there as Brandon Rismiller finds himself now out of the picture with the leaders. Jacob Wilkerson coming there with James Thurston. Thurston got the lead. Wilkerson still just behind, and Andrew Tootie rounds out the top three as the podium still made up of that number 9 machine just now in the 3rd spot. And now it's going to be Brandon Rismiller giving these drivers trouble here. And you'll see that number 95 going down low, and there's going to be contact between Jones and Molina. Consistent contact, as a matter of fact. Drivers in the wall, and just like that, with 12 laps to go, caution is out once again. Molina tapped Alex Jones one too many times, brings out the yellow flag. Alex Jones involved indeed, not to mention Molina. Rismiller, Dustin Pickle slows down big as well. 11 laps to go, and the instant replay will show you all the information you'll need to know about this situation. Yellow flag is out once again. Instant replay shows you saw Alex Jones desperately trying to save it. He gets knocked in so many times that Brandon Rismiller joins in, and the lap machine does him in big time there. Rismiller and Molina tapping Alex Jones to the point of no return. Looks like Jones and Molina went for the same racing real estate, and not a bright call, and it just couldn't work out. 11 laps remaining, 110 laps in, and the final stretch of this one, we're under caution for the 3rd time, and the big decision, no drivers coming down a pit road up in front. Your leaders stay out, 11 remaining in the guilt-free 180, and now we got a bit of time before we get back going once again. 11 laps to go live on FTN, and courtesy of iRacing Motorsport Simulations, the best deals on the market, back available for the remainder of the 2023 iRacing campaign. Black Friday specials already going to be on sale on the iRacing website, so check it out for discounts over 25% off rest of the year. iRacing.com, their one-stop shop for the world's biggest and largest online racing simulator, and it's the best in the market by a wide margin. With any racing discipline you'd like to join the action in, check out iRacing.com after tonight's broadcast, and we'll bring you a brief promotional break courtesy of our friends at iRacing Motorsport Simulations.
Racing isn't easy, but experiencing it is. iRacing puts you in the driver's seat with the industry's leading sim racing game. Drive on laser scan replicas of the greatest racing circuits from around the world. Go head-to-head against other drivers chosen by skill-based matchmaking to ensure competitive racing at every level. Compete across all your favorite series. In officially licensed cars, engineered to deliver the most accurate driving experience possible. Join a race or host your own with players from across the globe. Race against the computer or in a league with friends. Feel the thrill behind the wheel. Visit iRacing.com.
And returning now with 9 laps to go. We'll come back to green with only 8 laps remaining. Choose rule back in effect. James Thurston, race leader, out in front, and all of a sudden, it's in favor of this number 4. For most of the race, Jacob Wilkerson had dominant control, but that's changed the past few laps, and now in this final handful, we might just see the number 4 machine come away with it. He'll go high, he'll bring Jacob Wilkerson with him, not to mention Andrew Cootie and Dustin Pickle up top. Ethan Workman decides to go head-to-head with your current race leader, and they'll be neck and neck by the time the restart gets back in motion. Only your 3rd caution of the day, largely a clean green flag race. However, now, as we get back to it all over again, this could be the start of several overtime attempts, and we saw that can lead us to over 3 more cautions. If not, we can get over that. And Now, with 9 laps remaining, this time by, we'll see what the guys in the field have in store. Workman down low, James Thurston, your control car, and for the third restart of the night, only 8 laps remain. Back in motion here in Sin City, and we're now on to lap 113 out of 120. Neck and neck as they come through the back straightaway this time by. Workman's gonna bang doors with James Thurston, and already the intensity level as high as it can get. Wilkerson gonna wiggle once up the track. Joey Stone tries to make a move, and now that number 8 machine, a rookie in his own right, tries to make it down to the bottom side. He's neck and neck with Wilkerson while the battle for the lead rages on. 7 laps to go. Thurston gonna be up top. Now Ethan Workman down to the bottom, and as they keep dead even, it's gonna be that number 4 machine staying on the second groove, trying to make something happen here. And for James Thurston, this is a matter that might not be personal, but it definitely strike close to heart for this number 4 crew. Not able to make it out of the first round, the round of 16, after missing the first race of the playoffs due to a suspension. He was the regular season champion. He came through as the top seed in the playoffs and wasn't able to make it through that first round. Suspension and losing at Watkins Glen, that's what did him in. But now with 6 laps to go, there's a chance that might not be fulfilled as Wilkerson's destroyed. Takes out Cootie, takes out Workman, takes out Alex Jones, and the final 7 drivers in the playoff contention see a disastrous wreck. Yellow flag is out, and we might have just lost the entire playoff field in one foul swoop. Caution will fly, destruction ensues, and a caution most unexpected. Wilkerson, Workman, and Cootie, they'll all wreck at once, and the caution will fly. Wilkerson got sent up first, then you'll see Cootie, you'll see Joey Stone just barely avoids it. Alex Jones gets pummeled, so does Max Molina. That's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 of your championship 7, and that is detrimental. The drivers still in the championship race, only 2 of which got away, and that's Henry Kaloff and Joey Stone. And I do believe that Henry Kaloff, while he was able to get away from it, is still substantially behind these drivers and doesn't benefit because he's got damage too. And it looks like that's going to be another hard hit for the entirety of the field. And you'll see Kaloff, even though he wasn't involved in that wreck, he's still damaged. Joey Stone gets a miracle, and the caution flies once again. Workman is down and in. James Thurston leads the way. And 5 laps to go. It's a huge, huge wreck, and your championship hopeful, now almost everyone of which has substantial damage. It's a night over for Wesley Kutznoff, and night over for Michael Cormetis, as we mentioned. But for Workman, Wilkerson, Cootie in particular, drivers who got pummeled in that wreck, really no going up from this point onward. As the drivers make it through yet again, 4 laps to go. A substantial change of pace here in Sin City. James Thurston, Joey Stone, Kenny Real. That's your top 3 all over again with 4 laps remaining. And as the drivers get back at it yet again, the field is set to go for what might be a natural green-white checkered when all is said and done. 4 laps remaining will be set to go back green at the end of the next lap, which will mean we'll have 2 laps left. So with that being said, let's explain overtime procedure for the new viewers here on FTN. Overtime procedure and green-white checker procedure are very, very similar. Here's the one difference. We are not extending the length of this race. It will still be a 120 lap event. If it was an overtime, we would extend it past lap 120 and go as far as we need for up to 3 more attempts. Now, those attempts are in our back pocket. We'll save them for later. This is a green-white checkered, so our first lap is considered the green lap. 2 laps to go. If there's a caution during the green lap, we head to our first overtime attempt, and this cycle will repeat until the 3rd and final attempt of overtime. Now, if we get to the white flag lap without any caution or any interruption on the track, no matter what, the race is official. We get to the white flag. Lap 120 is the final lap of this race, and there's no way to change that. So the question is, checkers or wreckers, who gets it done? We might see another overtime finish. We might see desperate drivers in the back of the field push like hell to make something happen. We may see James Thurston get to the white and get pummeled immediately thereafter. If you get to that white flag and you get wrecked 5 feet afterward, there's no saving you. There's no going back. That's just the way it is. And there's also a chance at the same time that we have a wreck immediately that sends us into our first overtime finish. Nothing is for certain, and nothing can be immediately disqualified as an opportunity. Now, it's time for change. Joey Stone up top, Dustin Pickle down low. Dustin, going for his first career FORL Cup Series win, finds himself on the bottom side. James Thurston up top, they're neck and neck. The iRacing official pace car is set to drop in this time through, and here it will go. iRacing pace car in, James Thurston out in front, and there are only 2 laps remaining. Welcome to a green-white checkered finish in Sin City. Thurston's got the lead, and he'll lead quite well, taking Joey Stone with him. Gain there for James Thurston off the line, and enough to say that he'll be able to at least get out with a podium without any other trouble. But now, that's the question. Drivers further on back, fighting side by side, neck and neck, but no contact just yet. Come through the start-finish line, this time by the race will be official, and only 1 lap remains. James Thurston going for a revenge tour. 2 wins in a row on the line here and now, and 1 lap remains for the driver of the number 4 machine, with Thurston advantageous. Michael Deitch now going for 2 consecutive podiums in the back of the field. Joey Stone gets a saving grace in this championship 4 fight and goes down low. Joey Stone's looking for the win, and Thurston's just barely got the edge. Neck and neck as they come through this time by, and they will wreck, beating and banging at the line. Dustin Pickle with a first career victory. The number 21 will just barely get it done, and another CCH driver in victory lane for the first time in his FORL Cup Series career. He avoids the chaos and just barely breaks through. Dustin Pickle will win in the FORL Cup Series, and the gamble pays off. Jackpot in Las Vegas, the guilt-free 180 sees a new race winner. And that one, coming down to the wire, Thurston just had to hold her straight, and you'll see there the 21 machine just barely makes it by, and we'll play that one back in slow motion. My oh my, for Dustin Pickle, it's a moment to remember. He was there with Michael Deitch coming off the corner for what looked to be a battle just outside of the top 2, and when they come off the corner here, the trouble begins with Joey Stone and James Thurston. Stone is going as hard as he can for the race win. He wants it for his own. He turns up into the Thurston, and then they go sliding. And when they go up top there, just like that, it is Dustin Pickle who takes advantage, and he's coming through like a bullet. You'll see smoke billowing from just ahead. Dustin driving in the final 500 feet. Everything changes. Pickle gets to Joey Stone, slams the back bumper, and sends him spinning, goes up to James Thurston, and takes him out immediately thereafter. Michael Deitch drifting at the line, and he just doesn't have enough momentum. Dustin Pickle is a race winner, and the number 21 will get it done for the first time in his career. And that's the moment he's been waiting for over a season and a half. Finally, the release of a checkered flag, and the McConey setup shot machine comes home a race winner in Las Vegas. Dustin Pickle will get it done over Michael Deitch in second by 33 1,000ths of a second. Then from there, James Thurston's going to be third, with Joey Stone in fourth, and Max Molina rounding out the top 5. Chance Parker's going to be sixth, with Kenny Real seventh. It'll be Alex Jones eighth, and Andrew Cootie ninth, with Henry Kaloff concluding the top 10. Then from there, Brandon Rismiller is going to be 11th, with Hunter Bogdan 12th, and Ethan Workman 13th. It's Jacob Wilkerson 14th, Wesley Kutzna 15th, Michael Cormetta 16th, and Ross Corlett 17th, and 17 driver field comes through with a new race winner for CCH Motorsports. The checkered flag been long due for Dustin Pickle, and he burns down the house for the first time in his career. Dustin Pickle burning it down. We're going to get our top 3 interviews momentarily here. Chance Parker coming to celebrate the win. It's a huge opportunity that this man capitalized on. Dustin Pickle, in just 500 feet, goes from just outside the podium to firmly inside victory lane. There's nothing quite like that first win, and tonight for Dustin, he's going to remember it, of course. His sim racing career, another big accolade, and the checkered flag is his in the FORL Cup Series. Dustin Pickle will win from Las Vegas, and the checkered flag just barely getting it done. But doesn't matter the distance, it ain't over till it's over, and just like that, Dustin Pickle will pull through. For the first time in your FORL Cup Series career, we knew it was bound to happen eventually, but tonight, in the most absolute chaotic circumstance, you gamble, you hit the jackpot, and Las Vegas is yours. Dustin Pickle, first time winning, how do you feel?
Pretty awesome. It's great. I mean, right place, right time.
And a perfect place to get it done, just watching the leaders up ahead, and they end up wrecking. You were in that great situation with a battle up in front. How was it with the green-white checkered finish, setting yourself up for such a battle? Dustin Pickle making sure we got a copy here. Looks like we got everything good on our end. If you're still with us, let us know.
I'm right here. For some reason, it wasn't working. But yeah, right place, right time. I was just fighting for that podium.
Fight for the podium in the very end. And we would like to talk more, of course, about the big change at the end of this race. 2-lap dash, and that's the shortest it's been all throughout the night. We saw a lot of good green flag runs, but it came down to something so short. So how was it setting up for the final moments, knowing it was a do-or-die run to the checkered?
Probably, I was just preparing for what normally happens, which is things not working out my way.
And it looks like Knight, of course, preparing for, I guess, the worst, but getting the best of it here. Dustin, it's your first career victory with just a few races to spare in this series. And of course, Season 3 coming to a close very soon. What's it like with this victory behind you now, looking forward to the future?
Really building on that old confidence I used to have, honestly. I used to, past leagues I've been in, I've been the top dog, and it's different being at the bottom of the barrel, per se.
Now, trying to gain that confidence back, the number 21 machine, you pull through, you're out in front tonight, and you make it happen when it matters most. Checkered flag is yours. Dustin Pickle, you win here in Las Vegas. Anything else you'd like to add after this one?
Thanks to my teammates for being there for me when I need them, and being as happy or happier for me winning than I am.
And going through in Sin City, Dustin Pickle, you get it done for CCH Motorsports, a first career win in the most wild of circumstances. Thank you for your time.
Thank you. Have a good night.
But Dustin Pickle on the move, the checkered flag is his, and Michael Deitch continues a successful string of runs. And for Deitch, I know it's got to be tough to see it slip away, quite literally at the line. But still, you've been on a tear as of recent, getting multiple podiums, and just like that, you've got it up in front, second place finish. How does it feel, runner-up in Vegas?
I was so close, man. If there was like one more lap, I would have been able to get through that unscathed and maybe pull away, but that hurts. It hurts, but you know, it's nice to get another podium.
And some consistency later in these races for this 57 team. We've seen you up here in the top 3 much more often in the late stages. So, Deitch, with that being said, how was it tonight? We saw so many green flag runs and slowly but surely got to that very small section. Changed as the night went on. So what was it like to establish that difference from start to finish to keep you up there?
I'll keep it brief. There was a lot of dirty air tonight. A lot of dirty air. I started up near the top 10 and dropped all the way to last because everyone was like racing each other so aggressively in the opening laps. And like, there was just a lot of aggression out there, and it didn't help that I couldn't try to get by anyone after that because of the dirty air. So it was hard. So I just relied on the pit strategy and just trusted my gut with that, and you can obviously see it worked out.
And it looks like trusting your gut does play out well once again, and you made the move, and you actually nearly got to run skate in that wreck. You got tagged by Thurston, but just slid to the end just behind Dustin Pickle in second place after a third just a few races prior. You're getting there, and now with just so little left in the schedule, you think there's a chance to maybe pull off for one last dash, maybe for a win?
Oh, definitely. Like I said last week, I'm gonna keep doing what I've been doing all season long and just run to the best of my abilities and hopefully come away with the best result I can. That should not be any different.
And now pulling even better and better results, going for the best he can be. Michael Deitch, you're second tonight. Anything else you'd like to add after this race?
Thanks to my sponsors at the University of Akron, of course, our marching band, the Ohio Collegiate Music Ed Association, and yeah. By the way, I was racing with the Tuscan Valley High School band, which is in Northeast Ohio. They recently had a tragedy earlier in the week, where there were some fatalities. So it was nice to run some of their stickers on my car tonight and just race with a heavy heart.
And racing with a purpose tonight, Michael Deitch will pull through for a second place finish in Las Vegas, avoids the chaos, and comes down with the podium. Thank you for your time.
Yep, thank you.
And for Michael Deitch, it's a second place that's expected in these late race chaotic scenarios. He's often one of the better drivers at navigating the issues and making it there at the end. For James Thurston, he really looked like he'd be set with just a few hundred feet to go and a chance of that win. And James Thurston, you're not fighting for a championship, but you're sure as hell fighting for wins week in, week out. So you got definitely your own take on it. We'd love to hear what you have to say. Third place, what's it like?
I think I might have actually finished fourth, but the scoring loop was kind of messed up. But I'm happy to do an interview anyways. I don't know. I thought I had the win in hand, and I guess just complacency kills. That's the saying, and it's very true. I was way too relaxed with like 2 to go coming to the white. I just got too comfortable. And that's what lost me the race. He was just able to get close enough to make a move. And then coming off of 4, I went down to side draft him, and he was just coming up the track, and we made contact and wrecked. It was not my intention to cause a wreck there. But yeah, that happened, and we ended up both losing. But yeah, congrats to Dustin Pickle. I believe it's his first win in this league. So, yeah, just thanks to Power Smash Infinity Speed Motorsports for the fast car. Should have been a win, but I guess the driver just has to make some better decisions.
And especially close call tonight when it comes to going for what could have been back-to-back victories. Now, Thurston, we know, up next on the schedule here, the Homestead Miami Speedway, one of your best tracks, and we'll see you there tomorrow night, getting a little bit more practice for what's next, and you're still looking for wins. You've been up there all season long, fighting at the top of the board. What's it going to be like now? Only one more chance to go for the checkered flag again. You think you got more left in store?
I think I do. If we can go ahead and do that race, I'm definitely gonna do it. Definitely my favorite track, favorite oval track. So yeah, we're gonna bring the heat, see what we can do there, and kind of see if we can play a bit of an upset in the Final Four race. But yep, just excited to race at Homestead, and yeah, just yeah, thanks Dee for broadcasting, and just yeah.
Just like that, James Thurston, oh so close to the checker flag tonight, was still pulled through, and we'll review what's going on, but it looks like either way, iRacing says you're third, so that's what we're going to say for now. Anything else you'd like to leave us with?
I think that's just about it, but yeah, I think that's a bit of a wake-up call there. Definitely going to have to relook at whenever I'm up front towards the end of these things now. It's just on my part. nothing else.
Just like that, James Thurston learning the lessons tonight and hoping to go back for it next race at the Homestead Miami Speedway. It's a third place finish at the end of the day for the number 4. Thank you for your time.
Thank you.
Yeah, but James Thurston on our way, of course. We got our podium ceremony, but we got some big news regarding our championship race, which will be in at least a week's time. We're making the decision whether or not to postpone it right now. That will be to be determined. However, as it stands, leaving Las Vegas, the championship 4 is currently as follows: Jacob Wilkerson, Andrew Cootie, Joey Stone, and Max Molina. Those are, as it stands, your final 4 set to go to the Homestead Miami Speedway. James Thurston finished 3rd tonight, Michael Deitch 2nd, and Dustin Pickle your winner. We're reviewing the 3rd place finish right now to see what just happened, and Stone, getting that miracle despite not winning tonight, is still set to lock himself in for a FORL Cup Series title fight, and he might be saving that win up for what is next. Take a look at the finish here, and we'll see who finished where, and we'll see Joey Stone sliding in at the line. It looks like Thurston might have been just ahead, very close to call from that angle, and we'll take a look once more at the line for James Thurston. It looks like it will go the way of the number 4, but very, very close either way. Further examination might change it, but doesn't quite matter. Stone makes it in. Thurston has that podium, and just like that, another exciting night will end with Dustin Pickle taking home the checkered flag here in Las Vegas. Got to thank y'all for watching, as always, here in the FORL Cup Series. Now only one night reigns to decide the championship battle, the Homestead of Miami Speedway. Stay tuned for next Wednesday night. If not, it'll be the Wednesday night after, as we may delay the championship race just a bit further to ensure all 4 championship drivers are eligible to make the event with their schedules. Just like that, another night here in the round of 7 comes to a close. I've been David Kreutz, commentating and producing, and the championship battle only has one stop left. So stay tuned as we're set to bring you all the action from Homestead next time we go live on Wednesday night. We'll be back tomorrow night with a doubleheader, the IORA Cup Series and the Highline Racing League. 2 great races. The Highline Racing League wrapping up their championship battle in Homestead as well. So stay tuned for another championship night tomorrow on Thursday in FTN. And we hope you enjoyed tonight's broadcast. And if you did, be sure to leave a like and subscribe. Your support is always greatly appreciated. From our studios to your homes, we hope you enjoy tonight's showing of the FORL Cup Series and the Guilt-Free Lifestyle 150, and we hope to have you all whenever we're live again on FTN. Thank you all for immense support, and we hope to have you whenever we're live once more with the FORL Cup Series, and we hope you all have a great night.